Welcome back, FightFlock.com. In today's video, we're going to discuss another case of flock camera misuse and abuse by law enforcement. Today's video brings us to McHenry County, Illinois, a place I know very well. I lived there for about 12 years, many years ago, and they actually had a case just broke this past Thursday, June 17, 2026. A law enforcement officer, actual police chief of the village of Holiday Hills in McHenry County, misusing the flock database system. William C. Copp, actually C-O-P-P, that's his last name. Ironically, Copp, C-O-P-P, is a cop in Holiday Hills, Illinois, and he's also a part-time police officer for the village of Prairie Grove, Illinois, which is also in McHenry County. So he basically held two jobs at the same time. One as a police chief of Holiday Hills and one as a beat cop in Prairie Grove, Illinois. So basically the wrongdoings were all as he was serving the village of Prairie Grove, all right? So William C. Copp, he was flocking at least 6 different people, believe it or not, 6 different people. And 3 of those were ex-girlfriends, and one was one of their new boyfriends, and 2 unknown individuals. So that's what we know at this time. Again, this case is just breaking less than a week ago. So stalking 6 people using the flock database system. How many times have we heard that? It looks like he was arrested and charged with 2 counts. Looks like basically it's a violation of oath kind of thing. And exact wording was 2 counts of official misconduct he was charged with. It's a class 3 felony in Illinois. So Prairie Grove, they arrested him at a traffic stop after they put out a warrant for his arrest. And here's William, or Bill. He goes by Bill according to Facebook, but there he is in a uniform there. Not sure if that's Prairie Grove or Holiday Hills. So Bill Copp, he was arrested after a traffic stop and charged again with the 2 counts of official misconduct. He has another court date, July 22nd, 2026. So hopefully we will find out more about this here very shortly. Very few details available, but this was a online news agency that reported this. It was the Lake McHenry County Scanner, which is Lake County, McHenry County, are counties north of Chicago, about an hour north of Chicago is where these counties are located. There is no official news report as far as video on this case as of yet. This is a Chicago news media market, so they have not covered this case. And you know, Chicago's a pretty big city, so they have a lot of big stories to cover. I don't know if this one is big enough for them, but it should be. But we're covering it here for you on FightFlock.com. So let's get into some more details. So William Copp, or Bill, he was actually hired as chief. It looks like at the beginning of this year, 2026, January 2026, he was hired as chief of Holiday Hills. And Holiday Hills is a very small village, very, very small. So he probably doesn't make enough money just working that job alone. So essentially he has to work 2 jobs. Thus he's working for Prairie Grove. So I kind of get that. I kind of understand that he has to work 2 jobs. So he used the flock database. He's flocked this guy. The main guy he flocked was a boyfriend of one of the ex-girlfriends. He's unnamed, but the boyfriend reported this because he was making harassing phone calls and whatnot to the boyfriend. Bill Copp was making harassing phone calls to the boyfriend. So the boyfriend reported this to the authorities. And initially, the boyfriend took out a no contact order. He sought one through the McHenry County court system, and believe it or not, McHenry County judge denied his order of no contact. And then it turns out several months later, he's getting flocked by Bill Copp, the police chief / part-timer for Prairie Grove. So it looked like he stalked him 178 times with the flock cameras all over Illinois area, northern Illinois area. He even used the LEADS system, the state police system. It's a database. It's spelled L-E-A-D-S, LEADS. It's kind of, it has, if you put the plate number in there, you probably find their name, address of people. You can find out a lot of information in that LEADS system. Every state has that type of system. It's kind of like an FBI database, essentially. So he ran him through the lead system, and he also flocked him 178 times, it looks like. So this man, again, he saw a no contact order because he was getting harassed by Bill Copp, the chief Bill Copp, and the judge denied it, which is hard to believe. But that's similar to a case I reported several months ago, the Bill Steffman, Michael Steffman case. This guy, if you remember him in the previous videos, this guy ended up committing Harry Carey, but he was stalking his girlfriend, and the judge in Brazelton, Georgia, the Jackson County, denied the order of protection in that case too. So exactly the same thing happened here. So this is obviously, the judges are in cahoots with the Blue Line folks. There's no question about that. And that's kind of why this goes on. And then when it comes up to be a big story, then the police obviously have to charge him. There's back to no corner. They have no choice but to charge him. So Bill Copp, getting back to Bill Copp, he was arraigned and he was released. There's no bond. No bond. There's no bail system in Illinois. They have a safety act, I guess. So there's no cash bail in Illinois. So basically, you just walk free. So he will hopefully show up to court July 22nd, 2026. Illinois is a strange state as far as having no cash bail. It's very, very strange. It's not like that here in my state of Georgia. We have some of the highest bails in all the United States. So he walks free. Basically, he walks out on his own recognizance. He's, again, scheduled for court. It's crazy because he stalked 6 individuals. 2 we don't even know about, right? So 3 were ex-girlfriends. So this guy, he's going through a lot of women. Apparently, he's probably not a ladies' man, right? He's probably hard to deal with, and the women figure that out and they dump him. That's probably my opinion. That is my opinion. But I would say that he's hard to deal with, and that's why he can't keep a girlfriend, right? So Bill Copp, he is still awaiting his day in court. He is, again, using and abusing his power as a police officer to follow people with the flock camera system. And we all know flock is it's unconstitutional. It violates our 4th Amendment. It's an illegal search without a warrant. And we know hopefully one day the Supreme Court will rule in our favor and basically shut these cameras down for good, okay? Hopefully that happens one day soon. Hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll get some case to go in front of the Supreme Court and we will prevail. I really do believe that. So this is, again, another officer using and abusing the flock database system. Just a week ago, we reported on Cynthia Jodesty. She was in my own Cherokee County, Georgia here. She was, again, busted for doing the same thing. Not even a week later, another county I used to live in had the same exact thing happen. And the chances of that are pretty rare, right? So that tells me this is going on way more than we know, okay? Way more than we know. We just hit the tip of the iceberg here when we hear about these few cases. Again, this wasn't picked up by the local media, except for the local online type news agency, okay? Again, the Lake McHenry County Scanner, which is an online kind of a Facebook kind of news media organization. So hopefully this dude Bill here will go. He'll go to jail. Hopefully over those felony charges or the 2 felony charges, and hopefully we will get some justice here. Don't count on it though, because the Blue Lines usually get a special hookup when it comes down to it. Whether it's through their superiors or through the court system, it's way different than you or I any kind of deal we would ever get, okay? Let me tell you that right now. They get special treatment, and us average citizens, we get shafted. Trust me on that. All right, thank you for watching. Hope you liked this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will hopefully see you very soon, and we will, again, bring you any news we hear on misuse and abuse of the flock camera database system. And I'm sure we will see you soon. Trust me on that. Thank you.